Hello everyone, how are you today? I thought I would do a quick little video about jade plant care indoors. This beautiful jade plant that I have is about 10 years old, and he's lived in about 3 different homes. I've moved him about 3 different times. When I got it, it was a tiny little scraggly thing, really tiny. And over the last 10 years, I've kept it in the same pot, which isn't a big pot. And he's matured into a beautiful, healthy jade plant with gorgeous trunks. Look at, they're beautiful, nice and thick, sturdy. There's some moss on the dirt. Now, jade plants will do very well inside. I never leave him out. He's always inside. He's always been inside. And the sunroom that I have him in is, well, when it's sunny in the wintertime, it does get warm in here. It gets maybe 70 to 75 on a really sunny day. But when there's no sun and at nighttime, it gets extremely cold, and it can get down to close to, I would say close to 35 degrees in here. And jade plants don't really care for it being that cold. They like it cool, but 35 is very cool. But he's done well because he hardened off. It's not like I took it from 75 and put it into 35 or 37 degrees. He just got hardened off from like October into the winter and got used to it. As you can see, it's got, I actually don't know what these are. I don't know. You tell me if your jade plant has this. It grew this thing, and then it's got these. They don't bear anything. They don't bear a leaf. It's just growing there, and I don't know, looks happy. Hello, hello. Woo! I don't know what it is. But then it's just happy. When it gets too dry, some leaves will turn yellow like that. And I find that when it's too cold, they'll also turn yellow. But it's never turned completely yellow on me, just a few here and there. And the yellow ones fall off really easy. You just barely have to touch them and they'll fall right off. I don't know if I have another yellow one that will fall off, but, oh yes, I do, I think. Let's see. Whoop, that fell off. Now, they don't like wet roots. So you want the soil to be fairly dry before you water them. If you overwater them, they'll get root rot. And if they get too dry, like I said, they'll get yellow leaves that will fall off. So you want it to be dry to the touch before you water it, but not bone dry. This is damp. I watered this the other day. It's damp. I water it less in the winter because it's cold, and I don't want them to have cold and wet roots. So that could be another reason why I get more yellowing in the winter, because I just don't water it as much. But he's healthy, and like I said, he's 10 years old. And they like about, well, when it's sunny, he'll get about 4 or 5 hours of sun in here. He actually gets more sun in the winter than in the summer, because as you can see, there's tons of trees and they're really high, tall trees. And in the summertime and in the spring and the fall, I would say it only gets 2 hours of sun maximum, and it still does well enough for me with 2 hours of sun. It still does beautiful. All year it does beautiful. So just remember, you never take it from a warm 75 constantly to a cold room and shock it. But this guy is just fine if it gets 70 to 75 in here during the day and cold at night, close in the 30s, because it hardened off. And he's just used to cold nights now. I do fertilize it I would say maybe every 3 or 4 months. I don't over fertilize it. And I will use either this Miracle Grow for houseplants, which is always done fine, or Neptune's Harvest seaweed fertilizer and fish. It stinks. It stinks for about a day. I prefer the Miracle Grow for the Jade Plant. I like the Neptune's fish oil and seaweed fertilizer I really like it for the Grand Duke of Tuscany here. It produces more flowers. But I think I like the Miracle Grow for the Jade Plant. Don't over fertilize. Like I said, I fertilize maybe every 4 months, and that's it. I have trimmed it. Also, that's another thing I wanted to tell you. I don't want it to get too big, and I wanted it to fill out so it doesn't look scrawny and scraggly. So I've actually taken pieces off. As you can see, here we go. See, that's one spot that I've taken off, and then this shoot grew on. So I think it was last winter, I took off a lot of pieces, maybe like big pieces, pretty big, like chunks like this. And they grew back, shoots grew back, and it filled out really, really well. Really well. It's a beautiful plant for indoors, just beautiful. They stay green and shiny and lustrous. I find they're fairly easy to take care of. And when they get roots like that, they're pretty impressive. Everyone that comes here and they see it, they say, "Oh, your jade plant is gorgeous." And I don't do anything special to it. You just have to remember, don't overwater it. And make sure it gets a couple hours sun a day, if possible. You can trim them. Don't let them have cold, wet feet. All right, so that's some jade plant care. I hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy your jade plant. Bye-bye.